Hi everyone, I'm Mona Marlowe. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this video, it's all about the sensational, sexy, va-va-voom burlesque queen of the 40s, 50s, and 60s, an icon and legend herself, LILI St. Cyr, and her favorite perfume that she loved and wore throughout her life. If this is your first time here, I'm all about legendary perfumes and legends who wore them. And I'm so excited to talk about LILI St. Cyr, who has been an inspiration to me and to many other burlesque artists out there. Um, she was probably the sexiest thing on the planet during her days when she was a reigning queen of burlesque in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Last week, I finished reading this amazing book on LILI St. Cyr, and it's called Goddess of Love Incarnate. And I will say LILI St. Cyr was a living goddess for sure. She was all about beauty, love, pleasure, and living her life by her own standards, morals, and ethics. And she was the woman who put class, art, and made burlesque really, really big. She was the first burlesque artist to um, be brought out to the Las Vegas Strip and have a residency there in 1950, I think in the 40s actually. Um, and that made her into one of the biggest burlesque stars, not only in the 40s, but also um, up until the late 60s, right before she retired. She was also a lingerie designer and opened up her own lingerie boutique. That's why I'm wearing a vintage uh, 1950s bustier for this video. And she loved glamorous, luxurious things. She was an expensive woman who lived a luxurious life. She was dedicated to her craft, and she was getting paid um, $200,000 a year and $5,000 a week, which was more than the likes of Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, and many other movie stars at the time. So you can imagine what an amazing, extraordinary life this woman had. There's an amazing interview on her. I think it was recorded in 1957, and you will be shocked by how advanced she was in her thinking just alone. She talked openly about UFOs, and she believed there was life in other planets, and how, women don't have to get married if that's not something they desire. She really was a liberal, just ahead of her times woman who left a mark not only in the world of burlesque, but also Hollywood took notice. But she was a woman who was in control of her life to the beginning, um, and till the end. She lived up until the age of 81 and had a very, very long career. She only said she took 2 vacations in 30 years, so you can imagine how dedicated she was to her craft. She wasn't just a burlesque artist who bumped and grind on the stage. She really brought class, theater to the stage everywhere she performed. She traveled with over $2,500 worth of antiques, purchased her costumes from the likes of Dior, Balenciaga, and wore nothing but the best jewels from Cartier and Graf on her stage and for her performances. So she was also married 6 times. She loved to sort of wear the pants in her marriages. She loved to spoil her men. She bought cars, watches for them. And, it was really inspiring to read about this woman. I also did and performed burlesque for, I would say, about a year. And she was the artist that inspired me the most, to say the least. She really was a walking goddess. And I was shocked to find out as I was reading this amazing book on page 154. It says here, what does it say? She made a splash in her fur and jewels when she walked into a joint, lushly dressed in expensive gowns, drenched in White Shoulder's perfume. She enjoyed the recognition. So I am not surprised that she favored and wore the American legendary classic White Shoulders by the House of Evian, which was released in 1943 here in America. This perfume made such a huge splash. It really competed against all the legendary perfumes from Paris, such as Number 5, Arpège, and it's a beautiful, this is the eau de perfume, this is actually the extrait, half an ounce. Look at this bottle, the lace, the details, or the box, the peach ribbon, and it's just like this. I just love this packaging. I saved it because of the beauty. And this is the eau de cologne, which, they smell similar, but this is lighter, of course. Now, I've been wearing this perfume for almost a decade now. I never knew that LILI loved it, but I can totally see her wearing this and being drenched. This is classy, beautiful, sweet, elegant. When it first goes on, it's a beautiful floral bouquet. It has every white floral. It also has lilac, but then in the dry down, it gets a little bit sexier. But it is a timeless perfume that is loved and adored by many till this day. I would say the reformulated modern version is not bad. It gives, I would say, 80% as opposed to 100 that you would get from the vintage. Of course, it's inexpensive if you want to look for the vintage formulas online, but I love this perfume. It's exotic. It's just probably one of my favorite white florals. It does have this, I don't know, like, it reminds me of sweet tart candies, that soury sweet smell when I wear it. But I will say White Shoulders is definitely a perfume that Lily St. Cyr loved and adored, and I was thrilled to read about that and dedicate this video and record this video on one of the most beautiful goddesses that inspired people like Marilyn Monroe to, have short blonde hair, do the three-dimensional lip, and, Lily was actually friends with Marilyn, and she drew on a napkin of, like, the shape Marilyn's brow should be, and Marilyn followed her advice and loved going to see her shows, amongst other people like Frank Sinatra. She really was the top of the line when it came to the golden era of burlesque And I really am dedicating this video to her and all of her fans out there who loved and adored and still love her as much as I do. The one, the only, LILI St. Cyr. I guess with that, I'd like to close. If this is your first time here, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you guys in my next video to come very soon. Bye-bye.